Back on Get Up, and if you are just joining us, the performance of the night belonged to the legendary point guard Chris Paul, taking over in last night's Game 6 in Los Angeles after the Clippers in the third quarter tried to mount a comeback from a big deficit. Chris Paul just took the game over himself. Mr. Inside, Mr. Outside. He was 7 of 8 from three-point range. He finished with 41 points and 8 assists on a night in which his coronation was complete. In the end, look at a cheap shot here from Patrick Beverley. Chris Paul got in everybody's head. Beverley deserved to get thrown out and clearly was. But in the end, it was about the celebration. Chris Paul, Monty Williams. Paul had 31 of his 41 in the second half, and he's on the way to the NBA Finals for the first time in his career. After 1,213 career games, he's on his way to the Finals. That's the second most games played before a Finals appearance, trailing only Kevin Willis, who finally got there in 2003 and got his ring. We'll see if Chris Paul is able to get his, and I'll bring back Seth and Tim here. Our basketball conversation this morning continues. And Seth, let me ask you, what would a championship now mean for Chris Paul's resume and for his place in the history of the game?
Chris Paul's one of the best point guards in the history of the NBA. What would a championship mean? It would put him in an elite company. Think about this, like Nash doesn't have a championship. All right, Jason Kidd has one. So when you're thinking about the best point guards, I think that's the cherry on the top of the sundae. I mean, like, Chris Paul is just different, but he's also different in relation to the point guards that we have in the NBA right now. You think about the NBA point guards right now, it's Curry, it's Lillard, it's Irving, it's Westbrook. They're different. They're not point guards like Chris Paul. Chris Paul is a leader. He's a play starter, a playmaker who can score. Those other guys are ball guards. A championship separates him from a lot of people. This dude right here, to me, not only his game, not only his playmaking, but his leadership is just different. 5-time first-team all-defense, 4-time first-team all-NBA, an Olympian. An NBA championship is just the icing on the cake.
That's fair, and I think a lot of people will share it. I think a lot of people, absent their own allegiance, will be rooting for him. That said, Tim Legler, I think this just has to be on the table somewhere. In this postseason, the Suns beat the Lakers without Anthony Davis. They beat the Nuggets without Jamal Murray. They just beat the Clippers without Kawhi Leonard. They may wind up taking on, let's say, a Milwaukee team without Giannis. Those are just the facts. In what way should that impact the way we view this championship if they win one?
Well, we have to be realistic about it, right? And you have to say to yourself, if those guys are healthy, the landscape looks different in the NBA. You look at the Suns and look at their path and the way it's been cleared out. For me, if Jamal Murray stays healthy, and they made that Aaron Gordon trade, I'm making the Denver Nuggets the favorite. But that didn't happen. The Lakers beat up by injuries coming from the 7-hole. They're not able to overcome that. You get the Clippers without Kawhi Leonard. You get the Nets decimated. You get the Sixers taken out by Atlanta. So all these teams taken out. So you have to be realistic about, what this path looked like. But at the end of the day, that's only going to be in the moment, Greeny. Down the road, that's not going to matter. When we talk about this team in this season, and the Phoenix Suns, if they're able to get this thing done and get across the finish line and win this championship, we're not going to remember that and talk about all that at the time. These are always products of the moment when you have teams that take certain paths. This is an overachieving team in relation to, are they a finals team? No, nobody saw this as a finals team. But they've been good and impressive in the postseason. It's a war of attrition. They've had everybody standing here when it mattered most. They've had huge performances when it mattered most. So I think ultimately that's the context we're going to look at this.
Yeah, I'm looking at some quotes here, Seth, from Paul George last night, who was asked about having to play without Kawhi. And he said if Kawhi was here, quote, we'd be going on. This series would be a lot different. Talk about one of the best players in the league being out, yet we were inches away from getting to the next round. That's going to be really the interesting piece of this. What is the right thing to say about the path that they got?
The season's a journey, not a destination. You got to survive injuries. You've got to survive the regular season. You've got to survive the roadblocks and the detours and everything else that goes into it. So, to me, like, the Suns are right now poised to win a national championship in the NBA. And that's just the way it is. And, Legs, you made a good point right there. You said about the team, maybe we didn't see them this way. But you know what? They are a team, and the pieces do fit, and the roles are defined, and guys embrace their roles. They've got an elite point guard that makes the thing different. They've got a guy that's a dynamic wing scorer. They've got legitimate defenders that buy in and play into their roles, and then got a developing front court player that can run the rim, defend ball screens, rebound balls out of his area. So I don't like when people talk about the injuries and the players that they didn't play against. Here's the deal. This is the team that has arrived, and this team is legit. The pieces fit. Quite honestly, I think right now, without a doubt, they're the best team that's standing, and I'm not surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if they would be standing if all those other teams were healthy.
Actually, they might be a year ahead of schedule, right?
Exactly.
If you look at it, Tim, I mean, you look at it, DeAndre Ayton and Devin Booker, two young players who look or are coming into their own and look like they could be an extraordinary duo going on with Chris Paul at the age of 36.
I mean, I just like the way they check every box. It's a backcourt-driven league. They've got two stars in the backcourt. They've got a young big man that really came into his own. His rebounding was an incredible force in this series. And then there are other guys that do both things, defend and they can shoot threes. Crowder and Bridges at the top of the list. They've got guys coming off the bench that come in and contribute. Monty Williams has an incredible connection to this roster. It's obvious. They care about each other. They care about him. That goes a long way in coaching. When you care about each other and you enjoy the process, you like going into the locker room every day with the guys next to you. You like running out of the tunnel onto the floor every night with the guys next to you. That does matter. They clearly have captured that here. And if they can add another piece, another guy that can get his own shot to come off the bench, yeah, Phoenix Suns are legit. I love the fact that they check every box you want in terms of personnel.
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.